Oh, let me introduce Dr. Matt Baretich. He's a licensed professional engineer and a certified clinical engineer. He has a master's in biomedical engineering and a doctorate of research in technology management. Dr. Baretich has performed consulting in clinical engineering, safety management, and healthcare facilities engineering. He's also an incident investigator and an expert witness. He gives testimony on problems with devices. He has an extensive list of publications and he's presented worldwide. Thank you.
You're welcome. Glad to see you again, Dave.
Very good. Thank you. Matt, what we're wondering is, in your experience, what are you seeing out there in the field for infusion pumps? What kind of problems are out there?
Yeah, there's a lot. I see them both from a perspective of someone trying to manage technology in a hospital, and from the incident investigation that I do. And I think the most important ones that I see are hospitals have many different kinds of pumps for different applications. Makes it difficult to standardize. They tend to be complex, difficult to program, and I've seen many cases where that's contributed to patient errors. They are large, they're heavy, and they also are a part of a larger issue that is being addressed around the world of misconnections between different types of small bore tubing, not just infusion lines, but other sorts of connections that go to the patient, and you definitely want the right one going to the right one.
Certainly. Then what kind of features did you like about our pump that might address those problems out there?
Yeah, there are some really fine features of this design that address a lot of those. For example, I mean, the most obvious one is that it's not large and bulky, and so you can not have a problem trying to find where to put something in so that you can access it, make it so it's not going to tip your IV pole over, so much more compact. And the fact that you've designed this so that it can do a variety of substitute for a lot of different kinds of pumps. So syringe pumps, small enough to be ambulatory, standard cassette kind of pumps, and that allows the opportunity for the hospital to have just one kind of pump for many applications. So you standardize, potential to save money there, but in terms of patient safety, the big advantage is that clinicians only need to learn one kind of pump, and so they're going to be much more proficient in using that pump. Yeah, and I mentioned one other I think is really important is the fact that now, while you may have multiple medication sources and lines coming to the pump, there's just one clean line that goes down to the patient, and so the problem of making sure this goes to the right place is really reduced, and so the number of small bore tubing connections to the patient that the clinician is going to have to manage is substantially reduced in this approach.
Very good. And are you seeing more and more use of multi-drug therapies, multi-pumps?
Absolutely. I mean, you see lots of lines going into a patient, so that may mean a really large, a pump may be this big, and then you add on some more channels and it's this big, but that's not enough, so you add another pump, and so pretty soon you've got a lot of lines going to the patient. So again, reducing size, weight, and connections is the key.
What type of hurdles do you think we're going to have? I mean, if we hit them during their buying cycle and show them that it really hits this multi-use, multi-standardization kind of market or requirement, what kind of hurdles would we see as we go up against the Baxters, and not so much them, but the Hospirers, I guess?
Right. No, you're right. There's a cycle of review and replacement of pumps that hospitals go through fairly regularly, and so you've got to be there, ready with the pump, and to provide lots of explanation, lots of examples, and really help people appreciate the difference. This is different, but it accomplishes what they want, and it has all of those advantages that we talked about. So being there to really support that decision making is going to be key. And that's the sort of the regular cycle that we've talked about a couple of times, that, getting ready to really make a good presentation at that point. And this is going to show well because it addresses a lot of, you're going to look good compared to the alternatives that people are looking at.
How much traction, because one of the things we think is that because it's a standardization, we can standardize on this tool, you have to have less of them.
That's right.
So in our calculations show about 20%, maybe 30% fewer infusion pumps per hospital for the
sense to me.
How much traction would that get with the internal, the buying group and some of the people maintaining the devices?
Well, certainly for the people maintaining it, I think that's a real benefit. The hospital is probably going to look at some kind of more bottom line, what's it going to cost us to take care of this patient group, this patient load that we have. So it'll come through in that, because you just aren't going to have as much hardware.
Okay.
However they purchase, lease,
Fewer
whatever.
tube sets used per patient.
Fewer tube sets, all of those things. I think from the financial aspects of the decision are going to be that sort of bottom line, what's it cost us to take care of our patients.
So if we get that.
So these will come, the benefits will come through at that point.
Well, terrific. I mean, that kind of the flavor that we're looking for. Is there anything else that you could think of that you wanted to say in terms of the, where we're headed with this pump?
No, I really like it. As we've talked, I don't have any financial interest in this. I just see this as a real opportunity to improve patient care. You can saving money at the same time is a good thing to do as well. But I really like seeing a lot of those long-standing issues solved by some new thinking rather than incremental changes in infusion pumps. Let's start with the current best technology and solve the problem.
Very good, very good. Well, I appreciate your time in reviewing this. Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure, Dave.
Very good, thanks. Bye-bye.